So if we start in the left here, the character status, I'll open this up and it's got my character sheet. Now I showed this before in previous tutorial, when I did the game tutorial, and it goes through. I didn't go into much detail though, so now we're going to go into some detail here. We can start off. We have all the tabs here, which we'll get to eventually. First, we're going to go over the character sheet here, and we're going to start off here. We have your health here. We have your armor class here, which armor class is the higher armor class you have, the more resistance you, more damage resistance you have, and the lower amount of damage you take from incoming attacks. I have a 3% damage resistance because I have my armor class of 16, which 10 is the default, just like in standard D&D. And I got a +6 to it right now because of my armor here, which is a +6 armor class. And then I have my ability scores here. Excuse me. History of my ability scores. Right here, which is nice. You know, it gives me details of everything. Looks like I'm actually going to get +1 on level 60 of everything, which will help me out very well. Oh, I didn't plan that right. Oh well, I still get +1 of everything right here. And then we have my ratings of everything I do. You know, you just pay close attention to this, as it will help you figure out, you know, how much damage you're dealing, what your crit chance is, how much your crit severity is, and how much you're gonna do additionally. Your regeneration, your defense, your recovery, you know, your armor pen. All these are very important and work together very well. And then your total rating of what your gear is. It takes your attack and healing and protection values and gives it some of that, or not. So it helps increase that. So of your effectiveness of your gear. It is good, kind of nice number to go off of when building your character, so you know how powerful you are. Then we have your actual, you know, the rest of your character sheet, your gear, basically. You have your character, you can spin around by clicking or holding down the mouse button and dragging around. Right mouse button makes you move that way. Then you can move it up and down for that. Mouse wheel zooms you in and out. Then you have your buttons down here, which this is your adventure gear. It's already on that one. You can go to your fashion items. And my fashion items, I'm one ugly mofo right now, because I have rags, and then I have my one item that was from the Founders Pack that makes me look all sweet and fancy. Let's not look at my crotch, let's look at my face. See, ooh, I look like some rich, sophisticated guy, but I'm in rags, so not really that sophisticated, I'm rich. So we'll go back to this because this looks so much better. And yeah, obviously you have the rotate buttons, which you can use that, or you can use the mouse. The zoom in, zoom out. And this feature here, to be able to look at your character even more, hides all the words, so you can really get a scope of your character. You put that back on to see everything. And then starting up here, you have, you know, obviously head, armor, arms, vein, sword, you're going on and on. You can really see where everything is. But each one of these you can open. You can unequip. I can enable the visuals, so I have my Zorro-like mask back on. Or because I don't care for that, I can disable the visuals and I can just be, you know, without my helmet on. You still get your equipped pluses to your powers and your ratings. You just don't see the visual. So don't worry, don't be afraid if you're afraid that if you disable the visuals you're going to lose the stats on here. You don't. You still get them. You can only do disable visuals with, as far as I know, with the necklace, the neck, and the head. Armor, you have the option, but you can't do it. But with this, also, you get change appearance, the rest of these. But also, instead of having to double-click on your inventory items to see if you want to change it or not, you can go in here and click these buttons, and you have equipped a new item. If you have new items here, which this is just a Foundry Pack item I got, it's pretty worthless. You can automatically do it right here and see the comparison of the two. You don't have to have your inventory open if you don't want to. Lots of different ways to be able to customize your character to give you more options. So then, and yeah, that works with all of them. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else in any of the other ones except for my armor. But you can also do change appearance. And if you have an ink, like I do, I'm saving them. for when I'm 60 and I have all purple. Goes with the character because he's from a real Dungeons and Dragons game I played, the pen and paper, the style, where my character, who's human, he's a human rogue, hence the name. His name is Shmoo, and he gets turned purple by a magic item of the Rod of Wonder. We got lucky that he turned purple instead of like a fireball killing him or something like that. But he got turned purple. He's a little crazy character I made, and I decided to make him as close as I can to this. Well, since I can't change his skin color to purple, I'm going to change his armor to purple. But I got to get the good armor for it first, obviously. So I have these dice here that I can put it in there, you know, so I can save them there, and I can use them whenever I want. They're actually sitting in my bank right now. They're not on. If I open my inventory here, they're not in here anywhere. They're sitting in my bank, so it's really nice. What you have in your bank, actually, you can still use when you're not at the bank. It doesn't have to be in your inventory. But you got your preview screen here where you can look around. You can zoom in, zoom out. Same stuff as before with the mouse. And you can do that. It costs diamonds to do it, but you have that. And then you have enchant item, which I'm not going to go into too much detail with this. You can actually here you can switch to different items. If you don't want to enchant that one, you can switch to the next one. You can then right here is where you have your enchantments. This one's a defensive slot for this. You can mouse over here and see that it's a utility slot. It's an offensive slot. It's an offensive slot. It's a utility slot. Offensive, 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 and this is a defensive. Well, I can go through these enchantments here. We won't get too much into enchantments. I'm going to do a whole different tutorial on them because they're just complicated as is. And I can pick, and it gives me different attributes added onto my stats depending on what type of slot it is. So I can add more stuff to my already stats I have. And then you add it. It costs diamond to add. Like if I add this one, it gives me, let's see here. Let's see, defense plus 90 lifesteal. Not bad. And I would enchant it, but it would cost diamonds. So I'm not going to do that because I'm waiting. Yes, I want to close it. So, you know, you don't have to fully... If you don't want to do it, you just cancel. You're good. So that's pretty much the character screen. Character sheet. Now we will go on to history. Very simple, basic, not a lot here. So we're not going to spend much time on here. You can change your title to things you unlock by Slayer, quests, professions, general, and then your background that you choose to pick, which is right here. My deity. You know, the luck. I'm a thief, so why not? You know, luck. And then where I was from, which is Baldur's Gate. Mainly because the game is all amazing. And then you can actually type in here, Shmoo, you know, something like that in here. Anything you want of an actual background if you want to like get into more role playing, which I highly recommend. It's really good to get you more into the game. Just make sure you know the difference between reality and the game. And you know, I can do all this stuff. You can clear title here if I had a title. Like if I have Bandit Slayer, I can go clear title and I don't have my title anymore. It's really it. Whether you're in a guild, your level, your race, in your class, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can rename the character, and then that's really it. So we'll go on to powers here. Powers, I'm not going to get into too much detail, because I'm going to do a whole different tutorial on it because these are so complicated and so in-depth. I could do a tutorial on every single class if I had the ability to get every single class at level 60, which would take a long time. But I'm going to do a totally different tutorial on powers because of how complicated it can get in these things. But this is where you go and to level up to get more more powers and more abilities to attack and powers to attack and all that stuff and defend yourself and everything. I go into little tiny detail in this in the game tutorial, the tutorial of the game tutorial. I recommend checking that out. You just skim ahead and whatnot to that parts and everything when it's leveling up to go into that. But it only goes up to 50 points available, so you don't have like level 60 powers and that kind of stuff. And that's, you know, that's what it is. And you just go through and you have 3 abilities here. You get the third one locked when you get over 20 points. So basically at level 20 you could start getting the third tier additional stuff to it. And that's about it. You can get one free respect of your abilities. It respecs your ability scores here, your powers here, and what we're gonna get to next is your feats here. And I can respec my feats if I wanted to. I've respected things enough to where I have them exactly how I want them. When you do that, then everything clears. Those three things clear: the ability scores, your powers, and your feats. They clear, and then you have the points to re-put it in there however you want. It's a really nice feature if you're trying to just figure out what the powers do, and then when you get to level 60, you go, okay, now I'm going to completely remake my character. It's really nice. So I have my stuff set up to be a stealth, so I'm playing with my rogue, to where it maximizes my stealth ability, so I can stay stealth as long as I can and do the most damage. And being human, you get more feats than any other race because you get less ability score points versus only +2 in one stat versus 2 +2s in each other stat. Again, I explained that in another video, the character creation video. So these are all, every level, for humans at least, you get to level up one of these. Other races, you don't level up every level with these. You don't get 1 point in every level with these. It's tricky to figure out how you want to build it, but you can always easily mouse over these. So let's say you're level 5, right? So you got 5, and you're human, we'll say. And you got 5 points to put in. Well, you can put 5 points into whatever, every level you put one into here, you can mouse over and it'll tell you exactly what it is. So depending on how you want to build your character, because it's completely up to you. Build it however you feel like you want to build it. You can put them in here. You don't have to put it into the 5 I put in here. You can put 2 and 3. You can put 1, 3, and 1 for all I care. Do whatever you want. And then as you're going, you can keep reading ahead. Like here, I don't have these unlocked yet. I don't have any of them. But I can read ahead. I got this one, and I can go, okay, now let's look at this one. Do I want, Nimble Blade, or do I want this? Will this path work better than this path, or will this path work the best, So you can go through and you can figure out what you want. What's the ultimate one that you get? Is this one better than this one, or is this one better than this one? And vice versa and everything. So go through and map it out. I highly recommend mapping out what you want, because you only get a certain amount of respecs before you have to now pay 300 Zen, which is $3 of real money, at least American money, to do it. So it can be complicated and tricky, but just take your time and go through it and figure out which Paragon level you want to go into. Being human, I can technically go into 2 like I'm doing right now. And I still got 5 more levels to go. So I got 5 more points to put in here as far as I know. So you got all that. It shows what you spent and all that kind of stuff. These are the heroic powers. These are the Paragon powers. 2 different point systems. I don't get heroic powers anymore. I just get Paragon powers after a level 23 for me, or I think about 23 for me. So, but that's feats. Again, respec. You commit them once you're done. And then finally, companions. Now you have 3 initial, or at least I have 3 initial. I have the Founders Pack, so I'm not sure if you get the 3rd one, but I'm pretty sure you do. Starting out, I have my Direwolf, which came with the Founders Pack, and then the Cleric Disciple, which I got at level 16, free. It only goes up to level rank 15 though. The max rank is 30, so they only go halfway. But they're free, so you can't complain. I picked the healer. You can have I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but you can have a Sword of Arms. You can have a wizard. You can, I think, have an animal. I guess a dog, and then you can have the cleric. I picked cleric because I'm a rogue. I don't have the only healing potions I have. Only healing I have is the potions. So I went, hey, let's have a healer on me. So they can heal me. They can do damage for me, similar to the inspect thing we did up there, and my powers and everything. She's got extra bonus here because you can give her items here. The max summon recovery, 120 power, and these can be swapped out. The icon, make sure you're careful with this. When you pick up items that it's red, I can't use it, but she can, and it says required class devoted cleric. So you might think, oh, you can't use it, just sell it. But be careful. It'll say icon. It says offhand icon right below the equipped plus 120 or 102 power. The icon goes with her. And then she can wear any kind of neck thing. So, you know, and gives her extra stats. And then what you have is, again, we'll go over this in more detail when I do the rune stone and enchantment tutorial. But you have rune stones here. It's defensive slots because she's a defensive character. I can unbind it, cost rune stone or cost diamonds. Binding it costs diamonds. But what I did for this, which explains what these are over here, these augments, I have this set up to where the owner gets 4% of the pet stats. Now she's my pet or companion, same thing. I get 4%, and I get another 4% here, and I get another 7% here. So this adds all up, you know, and I get these percentages of her stats added to my stats here, which is very nice. So I mean, if I get rank 7, which is the max rank for runestones in this, I'm sure that's going to be a lot higher than 7%. If I get all of them in here, I'm going to get a lot, and then I boost these up really nice. I'm going to get a lot from her, and it'll help me play better. With that, you can rename the champion. It costs money. It costs diamonds, I think it is. You can buy more slots. You have the idle companion parry here, which is part of the inventory, which we'll get into when we get to the inventory. I don't have any, obviously, because I only have 2, and I still have another 3rd slot, so I would put the 3rd one in there if I had one. Switch between the effects and description, the stats and description. You can, again, rename. You can make them idle. You can dismiss them. If you don't have them out, like I don't have my direwolf out, you can summon them. Making them idle goes in the idle companions section. You can also pick their skins. It can be a pup. You can also he gets smaller, hunter, alpha, and then I haven't unlocked the patriarch yet because obviously I think they need to be rank 30. For her, she's only got 3 or 2 because she can't go any higher. You can buy them more in the Zen, the item mall basically, which we'll get into in a little bit here once we get to the next areas. But that's about it for this. This section here. So we're going to close this out. I hope you enjoyed it. So enjoy. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, please write them in the comments below. So with that, please subscribe, like it. The more it helps. So appreciate that, and have a great night.